Welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and do a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra and see which specific phone you should go and pick up. Now, in my opinion, there are actually some pros and cons between both, but if you have the S21 Ultra, I would not recommend upgrading to the S22 Ultra. There are so many things that are so same between the both, and there's actually some, advantages with something like the S21 Ultra, and I would honestly recommend buying that phone over this one just because of the price tag. If you want to pick up either one of these, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, on the front of the Galaxy S21 Ultra, we do have a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's a 1440p panel, and it's a beautiful screen, one of the best screens of last year, and even now it holds up extremely well. 120Hz panel. It's really one of the best panels, like I mentioned, you can get. It looks great. You have fingerprint sensor in the display, curved panel, and it's really, I like this phone because it reminds me more of like a rectangular phone versus on something like the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I don't even know what that means. The S22 Ultra has the same 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's also 1440p, and it's also 120Hz. But here's the thing. The S22 Ultra is more of like a sharper corner phone, very, very much in line with the Note lineup and even like the Pixel 6 Pro. It really gives me that impression. It really depends on which one you like more. I like the S21 Ultra because it fits better in the hand, but I do like the S22 Ultra just because it gives me more of like that Note lineup device feel, and I actually do like that a lot. I found that playing games and stuff, I do prefer the flat side over the curved side. Even though the curved side is more comfortable, I feel like I have a better grip on something with more flat sides, if that makes any sense. Now on the bottom we have the USB Type-C ports on both. Both of them have S Pen capability, which is awesome, but the S22 Ultra had the S Pen built into the phone versus the S21 Ultra you have to like kind of hold and carry, which is really annoying. It was kind of a weird, I don't know why even Samsung did that, to be honest. But with the S22 Ultra, it's built into the device, which is amazing. It charges wirelessly, obviously when it's clicked in, and that's easily one of my favorite things about this phone. So definitely the S22 Ultra is more in line of like that, S Pen type of capability. If you still want to use the S Pen on the S21 Ultra though, you have that capability too. On the back, we have very different stylings. We have the S21 Ultra with that frosted glass back with the camera set up on the, back top, but it does have a camera bump, which is something to keep in mind. On the S22 Ultra, we have the camera modules completely flush with the back. Now, I'm going to be honest, I kind of like that. I like how the camera modules are flush. My only thing is that I kind of got used to the, camera bump being there. So now I kind of like both, I actually don't have a reason to not like either one of these, but it does feel like the S22 Ultra is a little bit thicker, but they didn't really do anything crazy with that extra thickness. They added the S Pen in, but it feels like a thicker phone than the S21 Ultra in my opinion. So they both have IP certification. They both feel premium. They're both, very expensive phones. The S21 Ultra much less expensive, but that's pretty much how they compare, at least on the outside. Now, in terms of the camera setup, they have kind of the same thing going on. There really isn't that crazy big of a difference in terms of the front or the back cameras. They both have quadruple camera setups on the back, the S21 Ultra and the S22 Ultra. As far as I'm looking at their spec sheet right now, they have the same exact megapixel count, 108 megapixel wide-angle lens, 10 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. They both could do 8K videos on the back, and on the front, they have 40 megapixel lenses as well, and you can also do 4K 60 on the front of those cameras as well. Now, here's one of the best things about, this type of phone, is that either phone you pick up, the cameras is going to be amazing. It really doesn't matter what you do with it. These are amazing cameras, and some of the best cameras you can still pick up. One thing I really, really like about the S22 Ultra that Samsung has stated is that they teamed up with a lot of these social media applications, Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok, and probably even more than that, and they brought over some of those raw camera features from their camera app into those cameras, into those camera applications, like Snapchat and stuff, which is amazing. That was one of my biggest complaints with those phones before, and it looks like Samsung fixed it. Now, I've tested it out a little bit. I'm having a lot of glitches, to be honest, but I will make a video on my second channel kind of breaking it down a little bit more, but that's a really cool feature, and it's a humongous step in the right direction. With the S21 Ultra and the S22 Ultra, they're almost exactly the same phone in terms of the camera department. Samsung, they probably spent a little bit of time talking about the cameras during their keynote like they always do, and I didn't really notice that big of a difference. If you gave me even like a Galaxy S20 Ultra and the S22 Ultra, I probably wouldn't be able to tell that big of a difference either. They're both solid phones. They have a lot of capability, and when it comes down to it, I like both of them. The S22 Ultra is definitely the better phone, but they're almost identically the same, and I wouldn't even think about upgrading if you care about the camera because they're both almost identical. identical. So in terms of that covers it up there. Now in terms of the software and the longevity, this is actually a good area for both of these phones right now. Samsung, with the release of the S22 Ultra, they increased the software longevity again, which is beautiful, to 4 years of full OS updates and 5 years of security updates. So this phone is going to be lasting pretty much for 5 years. With the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra though, they did the exact same thing. So starting from its release cycle last year, it's going to be getting 4 years of full OS updates and then 5 years of security updates. So it's almost like getting a brand new phone over again because it's lasting an extra year. So that's pretty much it. It's just lasting an extra year, which is awesome. And from now on, all these Samsung phones are going to be following in that same suit, which is amazing. And that's easily one of my favorite things about these phones, without a doubt. So in terms of software, yes, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is going to beat the S21 Ultra, but I'm going to be honest, I'm really happy that Samsung did this. And the S21 Ultra, it just makes it even more worth it now because it's getting an extra year of security updates and software updates as well. So without a doubt, both these phones in terms of the software department, whether you like One UI or not, even personally, I'm not a fan of One UI that much compared to stock Android, but it's definitely improving, and I think Samsung is making some huge headway in the future. Now in terms of performance, this is another one of those areas that's kind of flip-flopping between both, and I'll explain what I mean. So the S21 Ultra had that Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 chipset inside of it with 12GB of RAM on the base models and 16GB of RAM on the top tier model. Now here's the thing I don't understand. The S22 Ultra has that newer Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside with 8GB of RAM on the base model and then 12GB of RAM on that top tier model. So that really doesn't make too much sense to me. I don't understand why Samsung went ahead and dropped that top tier model to even less than that, 16GB of RAM option, and the starting RAM is less than the starting RAM of last year. That genuinely does not make any sense to me at all. Personally, I never really utilize all the RAM within my phone. I could use like an iPhone, 8 that has like 2GB of RAM, and that'd be perfectly fine. I could use something like a Galaxy S8 that I think has like 3GB or 4GB of RAM. That's more than enough for me too. With something like the Galaxy S22 Ultra, I don't like seeing downtrends. I don't like seeing downgrades from year after year, especially in the battery department. But this is what's going to happen. They're going to decrease the RAM this year, then they're going to increase it next year, then they're going to keep it the same the year after, then they're going to decrease it again. Like, I just hate that kind of stuff. I just wish it's like an always upward trajectory, if you know what I mean, especially with a phone that's this expensive. I just wish it wasn't like this. Now, performance obviously is going to be great on both. I've been actually comparing my S22s against my S21s and S20s. They all have the same chipset, and I'm surprised how great of a job these older Samsungs are doing compared to this one. It could be because of this newer chipset. It's a newer phone too, so it's going to have some issues, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the future and how Samsung is going to go ahead and improve this performance over time. Now, with S21 Ultra, really everything you're going to do with it is going to be perfectly fine. You're not going to really have too many issues with it either, and that's another big thing about Samsung phones. Performance has always been really good. Very rarely are you going to go pick up a Samsung phone and feel like you have bad performance. The S22 Ultra is probably going to be the better performing one, but I love the S21 Ultra, and I think they're really good performing phones for sure. Now, battery life wise, they have the same exact battery size. Maybe the S21 Ultra is a little bit better because it doesn't have to charge up that S Pen all the time, but they're the same battery size, so you're probably going to get pretty similar battery life between them. Now, to kind of sum up this video, I'm going to be honest, I like the S22 Ultra, right? I think it's a great phone. I think it really, if you're not comparing it to any other phone, it's probably one of the best ones this year, to be honest. However, when you consider how amazing a phone the S21 Ultra was last year, the price decreased this year as well as the, more RAM on some models, the camera's almost identical, the displays are really good on both. Like, the S21 Ultra is a no-brainer in my opinion. I would much rather, pay less for that phone than to spend whatever, the $1,200, $1,300 for the S22 Ultra. You could save yourself $500 easily by picking up the S21 Ultra. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think the S22 Ultra is a really good phone, but I would probably recommend buying the S21 Ultra. That's definitely the better value per dollar in my opinion. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.